share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. I was waiting for this stream. So, Brianna Joy Gray finally put the stream out, the full video. And for those of you that don't know, so Brianna Joy Gray was Bernie Sanders' press secretary until 2016. I want to say it was 2016. Highly educated sister. I find her attractive. She's witty. She's smart. Harvard grad. Yeah, you know, your standard Ivy League going to black women, but that's not a complete and total people from what we can see out like that actually. And she's one of those people that like she did not decide to do what Kim Foster did, which is like every single day like beating up on black men and just trying to intellectualize it. Yeah, she decided to actually do the work and go in like she's a lefty, right? And she decided to like defend that position. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Anyway, so she had Jason Miles from This Is Revolution, Katie Halper, Olay, which I don't know what Olay does. I know Olay's an attorney, but I don't know what else he does and what kind of meetings he does in FD Signifier. I caught a bit of the actual original stream months ago. I think this aired around Valentine's Day, but I don't remember exactly. But I remember catching just a little bit of it, and like I was like, God damn, I'm gonna miss it because I know Brianna Joy Gray, and she's gonna hide it behind a paywall on Patreon, and I'm never gonna get to see the rest of the conversation. And I actually did because she just put it up, and yeah, it's still streaming, but I gotta get my thoughts out now. But what I've saw now, the beauty of Olay, and I don't know, Olay, I might be pronouncing your name incorrectly. It's either Olay or Olay. It's my fault. But the beauty of her is the honesty, the candor, right? One, she admitted she did the right thing that put her through the dirt, right? Put her through the mud. Number one. Number two, she admitted the anti-blackness in her and how the white guy and the caliber he is has nothing on the black guy that she's currently dating. And she realized the gap. She did the self-reflection. She realized the gap. And she realized that that was because of anti-blackness, not Mr. D's words, Olay's words, right? Olay or Olay. Apologies again if I'm mispronouncing her name. Once again, right? Number two, FD signifier doing what he always copping please put up with what? After Brianna Joy Gray speaks about Bertrand, which I also follow Bertrand, I'm watching Bertrand's interviews, a very, very, very fair-skinned brother. I don't know his names. I don't remember. I think he actually gave the information before, but he's a working class brother and he actually built himself up. He's not one of these people that, kind of was born into some money or really actually was born into struggle. Like I said, very, very fair skinned, um, um, not white passing, but very, very, very fair skinned. Um, and he has this whole series on class, and I actually enjoy the way he speaks about class in education, right? And how a lot of them are like second and third gen, and like they really don't understand what the hell they're talking about. He actually had to live that life and the struggle life and everything like that. So, um, after Brianna Joy Gray had a panel with men about their preferences or like their about their standards or their all of that stuff. And she said this is Brianna Joy Gray admitting that the men are easygoing, relaxed when it comes to standards, right? Brianna Joy Gray is admitting this. And after she admits that, after she says that, they speak about dating and your socioeconomic level. And Ebony said, these men are stereotypes, these black men are Brianna Joy Gray tell you when she had the paddle for men, she had the paddle, and I think I caught a bit of that also. She had the paddle for men, and men were so relaxed on all these different things about politics and money and all this other stuff, right? I've caught so many of Brianna Joy Gray's like paddles of either I catch like the little snippets or I'm able and I'm super lucky to catch the live stream a bit of it or not most of it, but you know, and I've been following her since for like at least a couple years now. I remember her from Bernie Sanders, when she created her own channel because Bad Faith it used to be her and another white dude, but then I don't know what happened with that. But either way, anyway, so you hear her say that. I want to be very clear once again. Listen to this. Brianna Joy Gray says the men are so whatever when it comes to so many things, not just like just the men, right? The men and the women are the ones with the insane ideas, and they're the ones who really got to stick to like dating within their Air Force class. Once again, this is why I keep on talking about all of these college educated people marrying within their own class realm. That's because of the women that what do they call it? There's a euphemism that they're using to be unoffensive to the women. Instead of saying hypergamy, they say something else. Oh my God, I always have this right ready to go, and I can't believe I don't have it. But yeah, it's not the men. The men date and will marry across the board. It's the women. And to see Brianna pretty much say that, and then FD come a plea, right? FD just come, and it's crazy to watch that, to watch her say what she said, and then him still give her an out to pretty much say, um, um, instead of the working class type men going at the system, they rather go at the women. The women are upholding the system. Y'all really got to get out of this mindset that educated women don't want men still above them. Women with money still don't. That's what. Well, if you want to know what the women are saying, let me clue y'all in. Let me clue FD in. Let me give him no space to wiggle out. The women are saying that they're on a certain level and the men are dating everyone. The men don't care who they marry as long as she's attractive. The women are the ones that's like, no, he gotta be everyone of my same caliber. And then the ones that do date out and say, you know what, you don't gotta necessarily be of my same caliber. Those are the ones that still regret not dating within their same caliber. It's not the men. Assortative dating. That's the term I was looking for earlier. There we go. God damn this. Assortative, it's the women. That's our little euphemistic way of saying hypergamy. Right? It's not the men. Brianna Joy Gray pretty much said that to you, FD, and you still come. Right? You still come, Peter. Right? And shout out to Olay, who pretty much, admitted and you can't say she's uneducated, she's dumb, attorney, public defender, she's doing yeoman's work, and she could have been a prosecutor and could have been raking in money, throwing black men in prison. And so she's a public defender, and at least she was, and I gotta applaud her for at least that. Hopefully she's doing a good job, but their case will be right. So we have to be honest that oftentimes, and this is what I continue to press, right? We will hear the women say something misandrous. We will hear them say something abuse. We will hear them say something sexist, and we will give them an out. And yet, on the act. It's worse than a double standard. It's not a double standard. It's worse than a double standard. It's us always assume that women are harmful, right? We assume that the women aren't being sexist. We assume the women don't mean harm. We assume that they're doing things out of good faith. Talking about bad faith, shout out to Jonathan Gray. We assume that. And when I say we, I mean us as a society, not necessarily like this. But the men, on the other hand, we on the ass, brother. You breathe the wrong way, man. You breathe the wrong way, we and it's sexist stuff, and like nobody felt anyway in the live comments. No one felt anyway, and but yet they could tell you how they're practicing hypergamy. Let's call it what it really is. When Brianna Joy Gray um, admits this, right? Sometimes she wanted to be in her trophy wife phase and da 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 da. And when you hear stuff like that, and you still don't push back, you don't none of that. Meanwhile, you're giving Jason Miles space, right? When Jason Miles says he's married to two Filipinas, his children have air quotes good hair, right? And he's saying that in jest. And then the Olay and they're joking around to a certain extent, right? And Olay and Brianna Joy Gray are about to go in on him. You cover for him to a certain extent. I gotta give you that by using more softer and euphemistic language, but it doesn't have nearly the same energy as Olay pretty much telling you that she. And I gotta do a BGS right moment. Give me 1 second. Y'all give me 1 second. Y'all talk about stuff. Yes, I see them sort of super chats come in, but I can't read them right now. So y'all give me 1 second, and Mr. Z will be with y'all in a minute. I'm put a new mic. Hysterical. I'm sorry if y'all hear background noise and stuff. Sorry. Oh, y'all said y'all can't hear me. Hopefully you guys. Now, give me a second, y'all. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Give me 1 second. So I am back. I am back. Can you guys hear me better now? I did not know that there was something wrong with my mic. I did not. My apologies. The whole time Mr. Z is over here ranting and raving, and y'all can't hear me. My God. Okay, that's next on the list is new mic, right? But can you guys hear me? Okay, so we got a one. Okay, you guys can hear me. So let me get moment because BGS is in the chat. BGS, you were right. This like the wisdom of an elder. What did BGS keep on telling you about the super pro blacks? The super pro black women. What does he always say? Why are they super pro black? Because they got dogged by a white dude. And Olay said it. She said it. Olay said, I will never. She said, I'm not dating out of my race. I'm not interested, and I definitely won't date a white dude. Definitely not. And then, and that's after she gave her story, and now she's only about black men. She's all. So we gotta wait until you get dogged by the white dude. When she said, I was like, BGS was right. It's not something that I didn't already know because, as y'all already know, Mr. Z used to work at a law office, so I've already seen the dynamics, right? I already seen what causes so many black women to be so super air quotes loyal to black men. And let's be honest, a lot of those divestors are getting played by white dudes. They just not telling y'all, right? So when Olay said that, I was like, and she's still young. She's 29 years old or 29 or 30. I think she said something like that. And but she admitted it. She said it, right? And FD said nothing to that. FD,
brother, you follow my channel, so you already heard. So you said, well, this is probably before this was around the time FD appeared on my channel, actually. So you hear Olay say that, and you think it's still black men, right? Olay got dogged by a white dude, and now she's all about black men, and ain't nobody got nothing to say. But let it have been a black man giving you his broken heart story about how a white woman played him, and y'all would have been all in like, well, you should have saw it coming, right? And this is all black men are telling black women. If you think black men, and I want to say this to every woman of color under the sound of my voice on this planet, if you think the men of your own race are arrogant a-holes in the West, particularly in America, the accomplishment of your race, you ain't seen nothing yet until you see an accomplished white man, a particular a good-looking, tall, accomplished white man. What you think he is? He's God. Okay? He is God. If you think a accomplished black man is arrogant, you ain't seen nothing yet. Ask me how I know. I worked with these guys. If you think black men are doing numbers, accomplished black men, you ain't seen nothing yet until you seen an accomplished white dude. So FD hears Brianna Joy Gray essentially describe assortative mating. If you want to be nice, if you want to be kind, hypergamy if you want to be accurate. He hears her describe it, and he still gives her the space, right? He still gives her the space. He hears Olay describing getting dogged by a white dude, and now she's super on some black man thing. He says nothing, right? And so you have to ask yourself, like, if this is what accomplished, or not accomplished, but academic black men do when they're in the presence of black women who are being honest, then, like, no wonder these black women are all on the interwebs talking crazy to black men, because when they're around the black men that could say something, y'all don't. As a matter of fact, what y'all actually do is throw other black men under the bus, right? That's what you actually do. You throw other black men under the bus, right? And so let me get some of these super chats out the way. Um, okay. Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear? Oh man. Hello. Okay, can you guys? Okay. Oh, there we go. I don't know what happened. So it's actually may not be my mic. It might be my phone. It's my phone. It's not the mic. I'm sorry, y'all. So I'm reading you guys. So when did it end? Did you guys hear me reading everybody's for a new mic fund? Oh man, my apologies. Oh, Gender Warlord said he gonna be mad. He got a recap 6 minutes plus. Jeez. My apologies, everyone. Wow. Damn. Okay, so pretty much what I'm saying is, and damn, I didn't realize that, is you know, if if FD and to a lesser extent Jason Miles represents black men in the space with black women describing assortative mating, hypergamy, um, speaking about their standards in a kinder way, and maybe it's just the way black women or women in general tend to deliver these things, maybe less crass. But if you're listening to women pretty much tell you, yeah, I'm dating in my socioeconomic circle, and they're the ones hunting, I want to be very clear. Men are dating across the board. They're having sex across the board. They're open to different women across the board. That's what Brianna Joy Gray was describing, FD. That's what she was saying when she described when she was speaking to Bertrand and different men about this. That's what she was saying. You ignored that. You ignored that and said, well, people tend to date in their socioeconomic class. And it's the women. It's not the men that are hell bent on dating and marrying within their socioeconomic class. It's the women. Right? And I am Wolf said, who's Olay? Olay is okay. So let me recap. Okay, yeah. So I guess y'all were right. I got to recap 6 minutes. Okay, Brianna Joy Gray put up a stream that she did a few months ago. I want to say it was around Valentine's Day, um, where she was speaking to Jason Miles, the brother off of This Is Revolution. She was speaking to Katie Halper, a leftist journalist. She was speaking to FD Signifier, right? And she was speaking to Olay, right? So, and Olay is a public defender, young sister. I think she's 29, 30 years old. And they were just speaking about relationships and dating on the left. So, what does left dating look like, right? And so, you know, I was describing earlier, Olay just pretty much telling you straight up that she got dogged by a white dude. She got dogged by a white dude, and now she's super on the black man. I pretty much exclusively date black men now, right? And she gave the story of how the white dude doctor, and she said straight up, like, and I remember her saying this when I watched it the first time, the original time. It's her saying like she don't like when she read these comments online. She went in on Divestors for like half a second. She pretty much said like she don't know where these people are coming from because when she read these comments online about how great white men are, like essentially like you don't really know what you're talking about. And this is a black woman talking to other black women and essentially saying like y'all don't know what y'all talking about. And then this is Mr. Z backing up that statement by saying if what black women like Olay and Brianna Joy Gray are saying is that black men with an FD signifier, by the way, also are saying is that black men and men in general, but black men with some status and some education and upward mobility are a-holes because they know where they rank in the dating market, right? You're an educated, professional black man and you're upwardly mobile. They understand how many women want them, right? And so they're a-holes because of that. If you're saying that about black men, what the hell you think white men are on? Okay, and Let's Go said, bruh, it's not Olay, it's Ola. She's Nigerian. Okay, so did I pronounce it correctly the second time? Let's Go, right? Hopefully, I pronounced it correctly. Okay, um, okay, let's read some of these. And Gender Warlord says FD literally has said that he feels black men have to work harder for love, and now it's you niggas. Right? Bro. Yeah, yeah, right. And it's important that we say that, because this is much of the reason why we're in the position we're in. Because like I was saying earlier, and I don't know if you guys heard, is we defer to the women. The women are saying just as much sexist stuff as the men, if not worse. And yet we defer to them, and we speak as if when the men are speaking, they're speaking from a place of wanting to dominate and control and but when the women are speaking, they're genuinely in good faith, looking for just a genuine connection. Meanwhile, the women are telling you that, and they're screaming it from the rooftops that they want someone on their socioeconomic level or above, and worst on their same level. They're screaming it, and yet we're we as a society, not the Black Manosphere, but we as a society, we're ignoring that. We ignore when the women say this, particularly upwardly mobile women of color, Black women specifically. We ignore them saying, "Yeah, I'd rather be single," and then we still blame the men. And then people like FD then double back on the men. He spins the block on the men and say, "Oh yeah, you're the issue because you rather not go in on the system. You rather go in on the women. You mean the same women that's propping up the system? You mean the same woman that just told me I ain't ish because I'm blue collar? Or you mean the same woman that said I'm not on her level, even though I earn more than she does? Or you mean the same woman that's air quotes trying to practice, well, excuse me, that's trying to practice air quotes assortative mating, really hypergamy? You mean that?" The women are telling you, FD, you ignored Brianna Joy Gray. She straight up told you Bertrand and other men were relaxed about their standards. They didn't care where a woman fit politically and all this other stuff. You heard her say that, in no pushback, no anything. No, you didn't even offer like, yeah, men, we don't really care about that, and we know most likely you didn't even spin it in a left way where it's like, men are raised that we're gonna be the breadwinners, or even though we're trying to fight against this, y'all are really not, right? But we just don't think the same thing. We don't consider these things the way women do. You didn't even throw that out there. Nothing, right? And shout out to BGS still being here. I don't know if you heard earlier. Um, you were right. Ola, let's pronounce her name correctly. And I'm my apologies to Ola if I was pronouncing her name incorrectly earlier. Ola straight up admitted that she got played in dogs by a white dude, and now she's all about Black men, right? And as BGS has said before, the most 10 toes down Black women have probably been played by a white man, right? Oh, and Big Kev says name of the video that you're referring to. It's on the Bad Faith podcast, right? Let me see if I still have it up. I still have it up, and it's called Left Dating dash Marks and Singles. Oh yeah, Marks and Singles question mark full video. So Left Dating dash Marks and Singles question mark full video, right? So yeah, so it. I'm so glad I got to watch it again. Like I said, listening to people speak honestly, um, with some candor and tell you what's real, it's important. Particularly in this environment when less and less people are getting married, less and less people are having children. It's not just getting married and having children. Less people are partnering, period. Right? Less people are partnering, period. Right? Less people are having sex. Less people are, it's across the board. Because I know oftentimes we think, okay, they're just getting married less, but they're shacking up. That's happening, but it's happening less also. Right? And I'm with said the chick with the blonde dreads. Yes, that's Ola, right? And shout out to her. She was actually kind of the humor in the her and Jason were the humor in the stream. They were really the funny ones. Oh, and finally, because I wanted to know this, brother FD, bruh, you've been with your lady since you were 21 and she was 19. I'm not gonna take away. Look, FD, you weren't out here in the dating world in your mid 20s, in your late 20s, in your early 30s. You have no idea what these women sound like in the dating world. Once he said he met his lady in college, in undergrad, he was 19. I mean, he was 21 and she was 19. I was like, oh, excuse me. Oh, nigga, you really don't know what you're talking about. And by the way, I'm not taking FD was in his PhD program. I'm not taking away from his hard work, from certain experiences, but brother, you wasn't out here in this dating scene in your 20s and 30s. You have no idea what it's out here, what it's like out here. No wonder you be copping pleas for the women. No wonder you could be so idealistic. You could be idealistic because you weren't out here. And so I'm almost certain all you hear is horror stories from the women. And I'm not saying you don't listen to the men sometimes, occasionally, but I can imagine all you hear is horror stories from your wife's friends and from your whatever girl cousins and whatever. I bet you have no idea what this dating scene is and how the women speak to men, particularly black women, the games they play. You probably only seen it in movies. On first and second dates, pretty much interrogating you on some money stuff, and you want to go at the system. The women are upholding the system. They're just mad for their cut. They're mad about their how this is turning out on them. They don't actually want to get rid of it, by the way. Right? They're mad that they can't neatly integrate in. You got women straight up interrogating men first, second, third dates on some, well, so who's going to buy the house and who's going to do this and da da da. Right? And see, and this is what I'm saying. And Trell Bentley says, back when I was married, that all I heard was that there are no good men. Shaking my head. Of course, and that's all the women are gonna say, because what they're really saying is I can't get or keep the men that I think I am deserving of. That's their biggest gripe. That is especially the upwardly mobile ones, right? That is their biggest gripe. And that's why I always make sure to say get and keep, because y'all know brothers are smashing everything, particularly black men, but white guys too. They're not just smashing even the most attractive men that's upwardly mobile with some money and some size. They're not just having sex with the most attractive women. They're having sex with everybody, and they're taking a lot of different type of women on dates. They're not taking these women seriously enough to be in a relationship with. That's why I say keep. That's why I always say keep. So what ends up happening is certain type of women, I'm not going to give the face that came to my mind, but certain type of women will go on a date or two with these guys. This guy will have sex with her a couple times, and like she thinks that means something. Whether she's educated or not, whether she's upwardly mobile or not. And so that's her level in her mind, right? So if it's a black woman that ends up dating some type of Brad Pitt or some type of okay, it's a Chris Evans was having a kind of desperate night, and he ended up dating, I don't know, or not even dating, taking home name your average sister, right? And he smashes her one, two, three times. She thinks that's her level, right? Oh man, my audio is still going in and out, right? Yeah, you guys, and I'll make sure to get a better mic. I just won't stream tomorrow morning. I'll make sure to get a better mic. My apologies, everyone. My apologies. Right. So, and I saw this when I worked at the law office, right, which is good-looking white dude, um, fresh out of law school, first real job, um, and he's running through the women, particularly the black ones too, definitely, yes, particularly the good-looking brothers, but the white dudes, oh man, running through them, white, black, Latina, running through them, right? And why wouldn't he? That's always the question, right? That's always the question when that you have to ask women. Why wouldn't a 28-year-old, 27, 28, 30-year-old, upwardly mobile, white collar man who's moderately good looking to maybe attractive, he knows what you women are really on. Guess what? Because half of y'all have already told him. Y'all have said it. Y'all have said it when y'all found out he was in law school. Y'all said it when y'all found out he passed the bar. Y'all said it. Y'all have said it, and so he knows what y'all really on, right? So of course he's gonna run through you. And even for you good women, let me be very clear. Even for you women that try to be chaste, right? By the way, ladies, I don't actually fault you for it. I don't actually fault you for falling for the dude that looked like he's gonna save you from you, right? I don't actually fault you, but when the consequences come, then eat that, and don't blame working class blue collar black men for air quotes try to punch above their weight class. Let's be very clear. We still get to smash y'all occasionally too. Let's be very clear. We get to have sex with you occasionally also. You may not marry us. You're going to try to marry the upwardly mobile dude that you feel like is on your level or above. But don't act like the guys who you think you're better than aren't getting the vagina also. You just think you're too good to marry us, and that's cool. Right? That's cool. And so, like I said, FD signifier, cop and please for the ladies, and yeah, y'all already know. Y'all will see it when you watch the video. I'll link it in my description afterward. I know I didn't put a title up. I didn't really do anything. I just um actually I did I put a title? Yeah, I actually did put a title up. Oh, my bad. But I'll make sure to edit everything so y'all can see everything. Oh yeah, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, all of that. um but I just had to get this out because I want you guys to hear. And by the way, um none of the ladies said anything particularly egregious, and for us the bar is pretty damn high for egregious because all the crap we listen to. So they didn't say anything particularly egregious, right? you know Thank you, Mr. Art New Style. Thank you, Art. Right? And Art New Style is Z doing the work. I'm trying, and I was already subscribed. I'm subscribed to Bad Faith Podcast. I've been subscribed to it for years. I obviously watch. I like Brianna Joy Gray's interview style. Right, I like how she comes off very personable. Um, and like as a fellow lefty, I like that she actually didn't do the easy route. It would have been so easy for her to do the whole Kim Foster. I'm doing this for black women and I want to represent black women and I want to talk about it, stuff like this and like that. It could have been so easy for her to do that, right? I'm glad that she went about these things a different way and decided to actually talk about left politics, right? BGS and bless you, LOL, right? And I'm glad that she actually, and if you watch her stuff, like she actually goes in on this type of stuff, right? She actually does. Everyone, I think, like she does like this relationship stuff maybe 2 or 3 times a year. She'll talk about this type of thing, but for the most part, she stays on the politics, right? And the left, she's had Bosch on, like I said, she had Jason Miles, like she's had Pascal on. She does her work, you know. And as certain things I disagree with, obviously, but you know, she could have did the easy route, which is again the Kim Foster route, because she's a Harvard grad also. You know, and I think it's important to hear these people speak for those of us that don't often follow this stuff, because we already know it, right? But it's different when you know it or you believe it or you think it, and then when it's actually confirmed because it comes out the person's mouth, right? And I am Wolf said, "How do you be finding these people?" LOL, bruh. When I tell you I'm all over YouTube, y'all think I'm lying when I say go check out Black Manosphere content, go check out other non-Manosphere content. I'm all over non-Manosphere content, other non-Black Manosphere content. Like I said, I've been following um Bad Faith podcast forever, right? Not forever. I'm lying. For like 2 3 years maybe. How long has Brianna Joy Gray? Because like I said, she had that channel. It used to be a white dude that used to co-host with her. Now it's just her. Yeah, like you know, I've been following. And I remember Brianna Joy Gray, like I said, when she was Bernie's press secretary. You know, so as a matter of fact, I can't remember who it is, and if they listen to this, they'll reference themselves in the comments later. But I was telling Art New Style and BGS a couple nights ago that I was going back and forth with some white people in the comments on some video, and one of them said, "Oh yeah, that's because we don't do the color thing in Europe." And I got on them, and like one of the brothers that actually is subscribed to me was like, "Damn, Z, you over here?" And I'm like, "I'm everywhere on YouTube." I just slow. I used to comment so much on YouTube. It was weird, right? I calmed down a whole lot. I don't comment on videos anymore, especially those that are like outside of like the black man, black woman thing. But I'm watching a whole lot. Oh, okay, yeah. And BGS says 3 years. Okay, so she had her thing for 3 years. So yeah, I've been following her since the beginning, right? But yeah, I'm all over, right? I'm all, and I watched it because it just puts different things into context, and it puts the way black people are. I want to say reacting because it's not a response. It's not a thoughtful response, but the way black people are reacting, it puts those things into context. When you see the larger game, when you see what else is going on, right? Or when you have a certain level of information, then it you can understand why black people are reacting to the environment the way they are, right? So yeah, so I listen to a bunch of different things. Like I said, if y'all go through my community tab, y'all will see how like scattered it is, right? And that's not even a tenth of the stuff that I watch, right? And I share people's channels. And it's all of that. But back to the topic at hand. It's important that you listen to these people speak. For those of us that just have theories on what they think or what they say, now you get to actually hear them say it, and you get to hear how they say it, to put it into context. Because, like I said, Brianna Joy Gray and Olay didn't say anything particularly egregious. At least as far as I got, right? I didn't get to the very end yet. So, as far as I got, at least nothing particularly egregious. Things that'll make your eyebrow, rise up a little bit, but nothing particularly egregious. The standard issue, low level, anti-black man stuff sometimes, which the fact that I'm saying it so nonchalantly is a problem. The bar is so high. I guess when you're used to hearing divestors speak, the bar is so high for things that annoy you. They dare before you can even feel like it's a real issue, they gotta threaten to off black men at least 2 or 3 times. They gotta threaten to abort black male sons at least like 2 or 3 times before you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I think that's offensive. Ah, right. So yeah, and watching this, but like I said, the race conversation, Brianna Joy Gray describing her time at Harvard, and her and another homegirl noticing that they're the chocolate ones in the school. They're the ones that aren't, necessarily legacy. Maybe they're the ones that are, and particularly for Black Americans, right? And she described a lot of light skin and mixed Black women, and they're, watching them date. So yeah, very interesting, right? Very interesting. And I, like I said, I watched the original, watched some of the video when it first aired. Didn't get to catch all of it, so I'm glad Brianna Joy Gray put it back up. I don't know if she's gonna keep it up, so if you guys want, I'm going to link it in the description. But if you guys want to catch the stuff that I'm referencing, I suggest you watch it as soon as possible, just in case she puts it back behind a paywall. Um, I like to listen to these people speak, right? And like I said, I've worked with these people, right? I've worked with them. I chilled with them. Those of you know I worked for the Florida Democratic Party, um, and I worked with them. I worked with Harvard grads, Yale grads, UCLA grads, um, some that were summering, not so, well, during the summertime they were in South Florida. They volunteered, because the Democratic Party, I don't know how the Republican Party works, but the Democratic Party, you just station you at a station you, and it's up to you to get to where you need to go, right? So and thank you, Gender Warlord, for the Cash App, right? The So you could be from California and they'll send you to Florida. You could be from Florida, they'll send you to New York. You could be from New York, they'll send you to Wyoming somewhere or wherever the hell, right? Um, I just got super lucky, um, that my mentor, she she knew a couple of people that pulled some strings, and I got to stay literally not too far from my home, right? But that's because I got lucky, right? So yeah. But when you speak to these people and when you work with these people, upwardly mobile people in general, particularly on the left, um, these people are going to be movers and shakers in the next 15, 20, 25 years. They're going to be speech writers for politicians. They're going to be mayors. They're going to be judges, district attorneys. You know that. You know, they're going to be some type of analyst behind the scene in DC or name your state capital, right? When you hear about their dating habits, right? It's very interesting. And to a certain extent, FD is right. People date a lot of times. People marry in their socioeconomics. They date and have sex all across the board. I want to be very clear. I've said this before. Everybody's having sex with everybody. It's when it's time to get married. That's when people's feelings start getting hurt. Everybody dating dating is kind of 50-50, but everybody's having sex with everyone. Dating, showing you off in public, and that's 50-50, but marriage is when people's feelings start getting hurt, because you find out the person that would have had sex with you all day every day isn't interested in marrying you, whether it really is because of your looks, whether it's because of your education or lack thereof, whether it's because of your attitude, you know etc., etc., right? And this is where a whole lot of women in particular get their feelings hurt, because men are far more honest, especially according to Miss Chantel Bugs, excuse me, Dr. Chantel Bugs. Men are far more honest about where we put different people and why. And I would add to that, and we're far more honest on where we fit in the dating hierarchy. Screw our feelings and emotions on it. we're far more honest with ourselves, right? And I've heard multiple men in the black manosphere and outside the black manosphere be very honest about where they rank, right? And maybe what it would take to elevate their position. Women, on the other hand, not so much, right? Not so much. And that is where things get tricky because one of us isn't being honest with ourselves, and then we think we can also lie to other people. You think if you inflate your position, then I will then see you in that position that you think that you're on, that you know that you're not, but you think that you're on, or that you feel that you're on, right? And so, like I said, listen to the FD speak to the ladies. Once again, Olay, Brianna Joy Gray, and Katie Halper. Um, listen to Jason Miles speak. Like I said, the two kind of comic relief was Ola. I wanted to say Ola again. Ola and Jason Miles. They were the like comic relief, right? But they said some real stuff, particularly Ola. Ola was very honest about her dating past, right? And now that we know that FD been with his lady, and someone said earlier in the comments, let me see where's that comment. Wait a minute, can't find it. But anyway, okay, there it goes. Gender Warlord said FD's Love Jones video where he describes how they met. I think. Okay, okay, right. Well, I never watched that video, so and FD FD swears we're following him all across the internet. Right? So he makes sure that like he takes little jabs at us or he mentions us in different videos. Like the manosphere types. Let me make this comment for the manosphere types. Let me make that brother. Number one, most of them sisters are not trying to hear that. They don't care. Number one. Number two, if you let the women speak, then maybe you'll understand where we're coming from. Number two. Number three, if you listen to the women, you'll realize where we're coming from. You know how you ignored what Brianna Joy Gray said about how the men are really relaxed about their standards, but the women not so much. As long as the men find you attractive, then they'll try to make a way. The women no, right? The women are telling you when they do try to do that, they end up regretting it. The men don't say that, right? The men do not say that. So, this was it. To me, it was a great conversation. I like to hear particularly people that can articulate themselves. As much as you may disagree, as much as you may be offended or even annoyed, the fact that they can articulate themselves and you can have a bit of more honest of a conversation is important, right? And let's be very clear, brother FD. I'm not going to take away from pretty much anything else. But this right here defines why you can only theorize what we're saying. You you can't really even sympathize with it. Because if you're telling us, if you are on my channel saying, well, what would it have to take for you to drop the misogyny, then you really don't get it. For you to even ask that question, you don't get it. For BGS to tell, like, you didn't even hear what BGS really told you on Bernard Riley's show. The women are screaming, brother. And I know that Bernard Riley interview obviously was way after the conversation with Brianna Joy Gray, right? But you didn't hear what BGS was saying. The women are the ones refusing, and that will affect your society. It's not something that just stays in a vacuum. No, the women saying, "Oh yeah, I got this education. I'm upwardly mobile like this. I earn this money, and I want a man like this." But increasingly there's fewer and fewer of those men, right? You could thank feminism for that. Um, Increasingly there's fewer and fewer of those men. I'd rather be single, not have any children, etc., etc., etc. And then that has consequences, right, to your entire society, from the politics to the economics, and it destroys the social fabric of your society. But instead of y'all really interrogating what that looks like from the women's side, also, you just going on the men all day, every day. And I'm glad that Brianna Joy Gray said that, and then me watch you pretty much ignore it, right? And the fact, once again, I got to say this again, the fact that you were with your now wife since you were 21 and she was 19 mean you really don't get it. You don't get it. I would ask you to get a hall pass from her and lie to women and date them for a little bit so you could see how they come out their mouth, and then have your little BS theories after that, and then let other black women, them college educated black women, tell you what they ain't looking for. Oh no, we don't care about that, and we don't care about this, and the men are sexist and they're misogynist, and da, da, da. I want you to go out here and date, and then let them say that to you after the fact. The same exact women that would tell you how misogynist men are would be the same women that just told you how you ain't ish, how you not on their level, this and this, etc., etc. And Big Kev says he knows, he doesn't care. Yeah, yeah, but I gotta state the obvious sometimes, right? You, there's no way you think that the men are just pulling this out of their ass. That the problem is that the men don't want to take a shower, put on a clean shirt, take life seriously, and all we have is a bunch of kick-ass women. And because the men are these immature little losers, the women don't have anywhere to go. No, there's no way you actually believe that. Maybe he does, right? So everyone's gonna say that the women aren't entitled brats and a-holes. That's what we hear from the political right and the political left. But at least the political right, at least it just does a little bit, just a smidge, because of the Bible, because it's the Christian right, right? Because of their ideas of institutions, at least that gives them some space to admit that yeah, the women could be wayward a little bit, a little bit. We don't get none of that on the political left. On the political left, it's women are sugar and spice and everything nice, and heterosexual men are just trying to drag women back into the 1950s, beginning into the conversation. That's the end, right? No talk of hypergamy, which y'all like to call a sort of mating. No talk about what your daughters sound like and how that affects the men and how that affects society. No talk about, yeah, we might have OD'd on this kind of female empowerment because now it's affecting our economy and society, and it's affecting whether the men even want to get up to go to work in the morning because they're not going to get married. So what's the point? They're not going to have children. So what's the point? The women are a-holes and brats. So what's the point? None of that talk, right? And yes, your college educated women too. And yes, your college educated women that studied in the humanities also. Yes, your intersectional feminist women also. Stop the cap. Yeah, she's college educated. She doesn't think like that. Yes, she does. She's an intersectional feminist. She doesn't think like that. If she's not with another woman, yes, she does. Even if she's with another woman, yes, she does. And if you listen to them long enough, they'll admit it. Kim Foster admitted it. Brianna Joy Gray admit, like they all every once in a while they'll try to cop please or try to correct the statement either before or after, but they'll admit to you, yeah, I wanted to be the trophy wife too, and then Kim Foster is, like I know I'm gonna make more than whatever man, and she sounded like she laments it. What do you think that is? Y'all trying to socialize them against their biological imperative, and you're doing a crap job at it. What FDs? I said FD. Sorry, BGS. BGS. I done called you FD signifier. What does BGS say all the time? Trying to skate uphill. They're really trying to skate uphill. I know. We'll socialize the women like this, and then we'll badger the men for not getting along with this program. How has that been working for the past 5 decades? What, a third of families, something like that? The women earn more than the men, and 40% of women earn more than their male counterparts, and that's great for relationships right now, isn't it? And yeah, BJ said it, I skate uphill. Exactly. So I'll pause right here. I implore y'all to listen to it if it's still up, if she still has it up. Don't go crazy in the comments, please. Um, and just listen to them speak. Listen to the conversation. I'm gonna finish it off. Finish the conversation. It's very interesting, right? And like I said, um, Ola and Katie Halper, but and Brianna Joy Gray, but particularly Ola and Brianna Joy Gray, they didn't say anything particularly egregious. But I don't know if you want to take my word for it because my bar is to the goddamn moon, right? I'm so used to listening to Divester speak all day that you might have to threaten my life before I actually feel feel something, right? So on that note, we'll pause right here. You'll have a great rest of your night, and I'll do something with my mic. Thank you for the mic fund, everyone. It was crazy because I just started seeing these comments come in like your mic, but I couldn't really do anything because I'm driving. So I'm like, oh man, right? That's craziness. But yeah, so outros. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I will pause right here. Y'all have a great rest of y'all night. Go check out other Black Manosphere content. Go check out other non-Black Manosphere content for the love of God, please. Right? And I'll see y'all in the comments on some random videos somewhere on these YouTube streets. Right? Spademan said, "Love, peace, and Popeye's grease." Hey, if I didn't produce the content I produced and my channel was bigger, I wouldn't be surprised if I would have got a sponsorship from Popeyes or something like that. Like Z is always the if I finally show my face, right? And I got a Popeye sponsorship, and but y'all already know because of the content I produce, they're gonna see this as misogynist, and yeah, that'll never happen. But right? Uh, you imagine what they're gonna have me dancing for chicken? Oh, I would never. I don't care how big the. Let me say that again. I was gonna say I don't care how big the check is. That's a lie. If it's a $10 million check, my Tariq might have to make the video about Mr. Z. But all jokes aside, outside of something stupid, yeah, I don't see me doing that. Yeah, I couldn't. I don't know. I'm there's something I couldn't go to sleep at night. Knowing nigga, you dance for chicken in America. You dance for chicken. You're a black man and you danced for chicken in America on a commercial. You're that guy. You're the sellout. You became that guy. the guy you railed against, right? So on that note, we'll pause right there. Love my chicken from Popeyes, right? Oh, oh man, I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't shuck and drive. I couldn't do it. Yeah, like for people that know me online, I think some of y'all know Mr. Z means it, but you can even ask the people that know me in real life. Like, I really be meaning when I say like the check would have to be that $15 million check, and they would have to have the suitcase with the money in it and be like, Z, you sure? Because anything short of that, if you give me a chance to like sit down and really think about it, probably not. Because like I said, I know what this is, and I don't want to be like that one more straw, on the camel's back of like the negative stereotypes about black people, right? And particularly black men. And in the grand scheme of things, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I just wouldn't want to be just another black man shucking and jiving, particularly for chicken, fried chicken on top of that with all the negative stereotypes and everything. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be that. Right? And exactly, Smitty. And I couldn't because I don't follow football, so I couldn't remember his name, but I remember the commercial. And Smitty says the modern day Jerry Rice. Exactly. And I remember that commercial. I remember that commercial. I was that was the commercial that was playing in my mind, but I didn't remember his name, so I didn't want to bring it up. But yeah, thank you. Right? Yeah. Spain Man. You see me, Spain Man? And Spain Man said, but I could upgrade the turbos, right? Turn the Z into a goddamn space shuttle. Let me stop messing with you. I got stuff to do. All right. Outros one more time because I spoke how much longer. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Love, peace, and Popeye's grease. Hysterical. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I'll pause right here. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Go check out other Black Manosphere content. Go check out other non-Black Manosphere content. And I will pause right there. Let me actually shut this off before I continue for another 5 minutes. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your night. Mr. Z out.